Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone is doing well. Thanks again for joining me while I review some more reserve list cards. Please like the video if you like the content. Okay, let's get to it. So, the first card, Royal Decree. 2 colorless, 2 white. I will check out what he says. Doesn't get any better. Cumulative upkeep. So, cumulative upkeep, white. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an age counter on this permanent, then sacrifice it unless you pay its upkeep cost for each age counter on it. Whenever a swamp, mountain, black permanent, or red permanent becomes tapped, Royal Decree deals 1 damage to that permanent's controller. This is really annoying for probably 1 or 2 people around the commander table. It could be more, it could be less, but this is pretty much one of the most annoying cards that I've seen that's very specific to 2 color pies. I would say that this is okay if you really want to make sure that you're limiting maybe a certain player on the table. But other than that, it actually is limited in itself in the fact that it's not going to do much to the other players. And white, unless it's mixed with green, has never been shown to be one that can provide that much mana consistently. So, oh man, they made some really painful cards in the past, didn't they? Yeah, this is very specific. It is 2 life or more life every single time this happens. So yeah, it's a painful card, but I just don't think that it's actually worth it in Commander. Next card. Sorry, I just ate something really spicy. Rasarian Badger. 2 colorless, 1 green. Summon Badger. That Badger looks terrifying. It's got like a bone stuck into the skull in the art. Let's see if there's a simpler way to say it. Nope. So whenever Rasarian Badger attacks or isn't blocked, you may exile up to 2 target creatures from defending player's graveyard. If you do, you gain 1 life for each exile card. Each card exiled this way, and Rasarian Badger assigns no combat damage this turn. It's like a weird ooze. I forgot that really. Wait, is it ooze? It might not be an ooze, but it's the creature that you can pay 1 green and take a creature out of an enemy's graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and you gain 1 life. It eats stuff from other players' graveyard. This seems to do almost the same thing. It just doesn't do it as well. It's 3 mana for a 2/2 firstly. You have to have jump through some hoops, attacks, and isn't blocked. Then you had to exile 2 cards from the opponent's graveyard. And then you gain 1 life for each, but then the Badger does not do any combat damage. It's too busy scavenging, I guess. It goes for their head, and then all of a sudden it sees the bin full of creatures in it and jumps into that instead. Other than that, it's a 34 cents card. I don't think it's really that good. It's obviously moving up, but that's because the market's being heavily manipulated at this point. Wouldn't trust it. The 10-foot stick. But yeah, I just can't see this being that valuable either. Next. Siddhar Jabari. Mirage. 3 colorless, 1 white. Summon Legend. 2/2. He has flanking. If Siddhar attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. Sorry. I can't see this being too powerful. It's a 4 mana 2/2 that has flanking. So the worst case, it becomes a 3/3 to the opponent because their creature gets knocked down. I just can't see it being a powerful card. I like that ability, but whenever it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls, which means you get the control of that. That actually is not too bad for 4 mana. Maybe this card is actually better than it seems. It's 56 cents on TCG. I mean, it's a legend, but you would never want to play it in the legend as your commander because it doesn't do what commanders should do, which is provide card advantage or at least do something incremental over time that benefits you. This guy is maybe good in the 99, but he doesn't have any creature types that are beneficial Oh, spoke too soon. This guy might actually not be too bad. He's apparently counted as a human knight, guys. Ooh, click. Okay, that's all good. I'm gonna move past this one. You guys can let me know. I think this guy might actually not be too bad in a gimmicky enough knight deck, and most knight decks are pretty gimmicky. Next. Snowblind Ice Age, 3 colorless, 1 green. They really liked 4 mana. That's tiny text. Enchant Aura, text for ants. Enchanted creature gets -X, -Y. If that creature is attacking, X is the number of snowlands defending player controls. Otherwise, X is the number of snowlands its controller controls. Y is equal to X or to the enchanted creature's toughness -1. Whichever is smaller. God. Oh, why? It's almost like they want us to do maths. I mean, okay, yeah, sure. That's pretty much what Magic is, but no one wants to do this kind of maths when they had to start looking into what the opponent has in their hand and stuff, or on their side. This feels like a pretty bad card. Your best case scenario is to just kill the creature when you enchant this, but sadly, it can only happen. Sadly, it can only happen when it attacks. Yeah, because it says if that creature is attacking, enchanted creature -X -Y. If that creature is X. Okay, no. So your entire point is if everyone is starting to play snow permanents because they think there's no detriment to it, this is a 4 mana removal, and that's what it should be used as. Everything else is just too complicated for it. 50 cents on TCG. It's from Ice Age, but that makes sense. I just can't see the value in it. It seems complicated. Next. That's cool art. That's pretty cool. Is he trying to wind himself up? Oh, poor guy. Might be running out of batteries. Sol Devi Gollum, 4 colorless for a 5/3 artifact. Let's see what crappy things he has to have written on him for that. Does not untap during your untap phase. Not a good start. Pay 0, untap target creature opponent controls to untap Sol Devi Gollum at the end of your upkeep. Use this ability only during your upkeep. Does that mean can you target a if there are no tapped creatures? Can this guy become untapped? And if not, then you pretty much had to wait until he's untapped, and you can only do it at the end of your upkeep. So you attack with him. Oh, no, sorry, at the end of your upkeep. So upkeep is pretty much straight after draw, isn't it? So draw, upkeep and draw? Draw and upkeep? Forget which one, but I guess since I'm playing Commander, it's very lax nowadays. But that pretty much means the turn before you attack, you untap another person's. Actually, I like this card. It's not always the best, but you can make people be a bit more aggressive, and you can try to be more political because you can untap all. It doesn't just say do this once per turn. It only says use this ability only during your upkeep. You could untap everyone's creatures. What's the benefit of that? If you untapped everyone's, then that's no benefit. But if you untapped one person's, then they can probably benefit off that untap to block the next 2 rounds. They can be a bit more aggressive. So if you team up with someone, say, hey, I'm going to untap all your creatures at the start of my turn, but you have to continually attack the other 2 players, whichever one, and then I'll let you do that, especially if they have a good board state, and you have a advantage on that. I don't know. Okay. I might be thinking too much into this and spending too much time. 30 cents on TCG. Let's move on. Soul Echo. Pay X, 2 white. Enchantment. When you play Soul Echo, put X echo counters on it. No, you know what? This doesn't help. Yeah. Soul Echo enters the battlefield with X echo counters on it. You don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Soul Echo if there are no echo counters on it. Otherwise, target opponent may choose that for each 1 damage that was dealt to you until your next upkeep, you remove an echo counter from Soul Echo. So pretty much, this protects you from having to worry about your life as long as you can keep a large amount of counters on it. This feels like a good card too, for two reasons. One of them is you get to choose the opponent, who then chooses if you take 1 damage. Otherwise, target opponent may choose that for each 1 damage that would be dealt to you until your next upkeep, you may remove an echo counter from. So what if they say no, you just take the damage? You just go to -10. Your soul echo could be on 1, but that opponent doesn't want you out of the game because you might be beneficial. So this might be a 3 mana, pick the right opponent each time, and you could live a lot longer than your health pool actually lets you do. Unless you start doing shenanigans and start using your life total for something that's way too good. I'm looking at you, black and white, most likely. This feels like a good build-around card as well. Very, very interesting. I like the last 2 cards. They were very unique. You guys let me know if I'm actually reading these cards right, but I feel like they're both pretty good in Commander. Next, Spectral Guardian, 2 colorless, 2 white, summon Guardian. As long as Spectral Guardian is untapped, non-creature artifacts cannot be the target of spells or abilities. 4 mana for a 2/3 that says that non-creature artifacts cannot be the target of spells or abilities in a equipment themed deck feels very, very powerful. In fact, some of the best ways to remove equipment is to target them with spells and effects. Doesn't this make... Isn't this something that'll be perfect in an equipment themed deck? Have we started hitting jackpot? It's about time that I got to the treasure island. It's taken a while. So those 3 were all good to me. Splintering Wind. 2 colorless, 2 green, enchantment. 2 colorless, 2 green, Splintering Wind deals 1 damage to target creature. Put a splinter token into play. Treat this token as a 1/1 green creature with flying and cumulative upkeep green. Oh no. If this token leaves play, it deals 1 damage to you and each no, okay. Yep. It's not a good card. This is not a good card. You had to pay 7 mana to make a deal 1 damage, and then you put a token that then requires you to play cumulative upkeep. And then if you don't, then it deals 1 damage to you and all your creatures. Terrible card. Doesn't make sense. Seems like a bad thing. Next. Storm Spirit. 3 colorless. White, blue, green. Okay. Summon Spirit. It's a 3/3 for 6 with flying. Tap. Storm Spirit deals 2 damage to target creature. Nope. Terrible card. 6 mana for a 3/3 with flying is bad. 6 mana for 3/3 that then taps to deal 2 damage to target creature is just as bad. Dies to Lightning Bolt for 1 mana. Next. Subterranean Spirit. 3 colorless, 2 red, 3/3, protection from red. Okay. It has tap, deal 1 damage to each creature without flying. Ah. If it wasn't for the fact that my dinosaur deck is so focused on dinos, these kinds of creatures which can deal consistent damage every turn for enrage mechanics are pretty cool. Especially if you can make that benefit to yourself. It's just that you don't have space for that kind of stuff. This might be better in a deck that really scales up damage to everyone else, so yeah, you can just keep the board cleaned if you just double and then triple the amount of damage that's coming out of all your red sources. And then it doesn't really have to worry about dealing the same damage to your creatures because normally it says opponents. So yeah, for the last card, not that impressive, but I really, really liked this Sol Devi Gollum, Soul Echo, and Spectral Guardian. You guys can let me know if that actually makes sense. Thanks for watching, and please like if you liked the video. And I'll see you again next time.